Obi Wan Kenobi, the brand new Star Wars series, is finally out on Disney Plus, and I finally get to talk about it. So, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony Salic, and if you are new, be sure to leave a like and a comment, as we are going to be covering Obi-Wan every single week for the next 4 weeks. But anyways, let's get on to it. So, they just dropped episode 1 and 2 of the Obi-Wan show on Disney Plus. It actually dropped 3 hours earlier than I expected. Luckily, I was awake, so I was able to see it. But the reason why the review is coming out so late is because I wasn't really gonna do a whole review at like 2 a.m. Didn't really make sense. Figured I might as well sleep, process that entire 2 episodes, and then wake up and then do my review. So here we are. So let's get started. Obi Wan Kenobi I gotta be honest, I was very unsure about how I felt about this series, because it's a series that takes place in between episode 3 and 4, but not just that, it tells the untold story of Kenobi, and more specifically what he's been doing between the events of 3 and 4, and we find out it's actually been pretty bad. I mean, to kind of put it to perspective, it opens up the episode, or at least when it first shows us Kenobi, he's at a butcher shop, or how do I put it? Sorry about that. Had to take a quick cut. So moving on back to the whole thing. Essentially, it opens up with Obi-Wan as working like a butcher shop, and it sort of shows how sad the life has gotten, especially after being in exile, and we see how becoming a Jedi, or being a Jedi in current day, has affected him. We see how a lot of his life has definitely changed, and it's for the worse. So we cut between sort of 3 parts: the Inquisitor storyline, Obi-Wan's storyline, and then Princess Leia's storyline, which takes place in Organa, or I forgot the planet that she was in, but it takes place in her main planet. And it's a really, really good transition. I gotta say, the music in this is phenomenal. I love it. John Williams, I believe, actually did the theme, and then they gave the rest of the music to, I forgot who it was. But it's really, really solid, and I did enjoy it all. Now, they end up introducing the main villains, who I said were the Inquisitors, but they didn't really. There's a lot of tension between that group, and I think that that's a good thing, because it does show something on how, villains are always usually one-sided, but when you're dealing with a group, it's good to build that tension, and it's good to build that conflicts between each other. It's really, really good. So, moving on. So the episode 1 was mainly a catch up, right? It was catching up with these characters, catching up on the storylines that we last left them off, and a lot of people, including I, was like very, very skeptical. But the episode ends, and we move on to episode 2. Now, episode 1 was overall really, really good. Did enjoy it. Felt like there could have been some better things in it. Like, I thought that maybe, they could have done maybe a couple of transitions better. Still liked it either way. Episode 2. Let me tell y'all something about episode 2. Episode 2 is one of the greatest pieces of Star Wars things that I've ever seen. Okay, so here's how it goes. So the whole point is that Princess Leia ends up getting taken, and she's pretty much used as a bait in order to lure Obi-Wan out, because we know that Obi-Wan would do anything for Luke and Leia. So, cut a little bit forward, and Obi-Wan is essentially in this new town, and he's trying to find Leia. And first of all, we get an actual clone. That was actually cool. He said it was an actual clone from the Clone Wars, and I love how they're going back to not just everything that was in the prequels, but they're also looking at everything that took place in between. So you have things like the Clone Wars. Obviously, we get to see a clone who actually is played by the original actor. I forget his first name. Tear Morrison, I think that's might be his. He plays Boba Fett, and I just don't know how his first name goes, right? But it was really, really cool. And we sort of get a back and forth, again, as I said, between the Leia storyline, between the Inquisitors and all that. And it's essentially like this good, hiding in the city. We actually end up seeing another quote-unquote Jedi played by, I forgot his name again. All I know, he's Kingo from the Eternals, but he's really, really cool. He's actually a fake Jedi who pretends to use the Force in order to help people escape. But Obi-Wan ends up finding out he's a fraud, gets some information out of him, finds out where Leia is, and then goes on to proceed to save her. And in between, we get more storyline between the Inquisitors. I love the Inquisitors so far. Mainly the third Inquisitor. Oh my gosh, she got some attitude towards Obi-Wan. I don't know what the story is, and that's probably something that they're going to save for later, but it was really, really good and intimidating just how much of a grudge she has on Obi-Wan. For what reason, we don't know. And the episode essentially ends with not a fight between Obi-Wan and the third sister, but a fight between the third sister and the Grand Inquisitor, in which case the Grand Inquisitor ends up dying at the hands of the third sister. So again, love how not even the Inquisitors get along with each other. It's a whole lot of tension, which is really, really good. Not something we really see in these Star Wars films or series, but it was really, really good. And we end up finding out that the third sister ends up telling Obi-Wan that Anakin Skywalker is alive. And I never really thought about it like that, because for the longest time, it was at the end of episode 3, Anakin ends up burning, which leads Obi-Wan to thinking that he dies. And then in episode 4, we knew that Obi-Wan knew that that Darth Vader was Anakin Skywalker. He knew somehow. So I'm glad that we get the bridge in between, those two episodes, and we actually get to see Obi-Wan's reaction to Anakin being alive. Which, I love how they fill in those details. It's really, really good storytelling. And we end the episode off with Hayden Christensen as Anakin inside the Bacta tank. Obviously, we know that there's going to be a big conflict happening in these upcoming episodes. And I can't wait. Loved it. Everything was great. There are so many Easter eggs, not just to the original trilogy, but to the prequels, and then there's some Clone Wars stuff in it. Really, really good. I love how they're all tying these different eras of the Star Wars universe into this one show, which is so sick. And I can't wait. I honestly can't wait to see more of this show. But that will be for next week. So anyways, what did I think of these overall episodes? Episode 1, I liked episode 2 more than episode 1. But episode 1 was still pretty good. I'm going to give episode 1 7.5. And then I'm going to give episode 2 8. A solid 8. I still think that they could be better, especially as we get closer to, whatever battles that they're actually going to have. But overall, 7.5 and then 8. And again, leaving room for just in case we get way, way better episodes for the rest of the season. But with that said, guys, I'm going to bring this review to a close. So if you guys did enjoy, you guys already know what to do. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to have those notifications on, as we're going to be reviewing Kenobi every single Friday. But until then, my name is Anthony Salic, and I will see you all later. Peace.